Hey, you guys. So, I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about how I make my shake and how I make it yummy as opposed to not so yummy. So, when I first started drinking Shakeology, I wasn't taught on how to make it. And sorry, I gotta drink my coffee because I need that little extra kick. So I wasn't taught how to make it. So I thought it was like a normal thing. You grab your shaker cup, you put the powder in, you put the water in, and you shake it up and you drink it. And it was so gross, so awful. And I really had no freaking clue that there was a way to make it better. So first off, first rule of thumb for me, don't shake it. Unless you are in a complete jam and you need your shake and you have no other option, then do that. So for example, when we had the fires going on, like a year and a half ago now, and we were evacuating, I grabbed my Shakeology. And you're probably thinking, why? Because I knew that there might be limited resources for food. I had no idea. I mean, we were packing up and leaving our house at 2:00 in the morning. I had no idea what was really going on. So I think I probably grabbed a bag. I don't know if I grabbed a bag or if I grabbed one of my containers, but I grabbed it. And I grabbed a cup and I grabbed a bunch of water because I said, you know what? If anything, I will be able to shake this up and have it as opposed to having to worry about eating canned food or not eating or anything like that. So, it's a really great emergency source of food. But how do I normally make my shake? Always blend it. I have my Ninja blender here that I use with one of the individual cups. I prefer to use that as opposed to the big blender just because it gets it thicker. With this, I feel like it whips it up more, so it's creamier as opposed to using my big huge one where there's more space and it usually goes to about here, and then it feels waterier or something. I don't know. I haven't used that big one in a really long time. Plus, this makes it super easy and convenient. You screw this on, you blend it up. After you're done, oop, it's wet. I just go like this to get all like the extra off here, and then I rinse it off. I stick a straw in here and I go. I typically have this in my car. This sucks because I got it on top of the lid, and I hope it doesn't go inside. Anyway, so how do I make it? 90% of the time I make it with frozen fruit. Why do I do that? Because it makes it creamier. It adds in that fruit that is one of your servings for that day. And it makes I like the flavor of it. And it doesn't make it as watery. The other 10% of the time I will make it a coffee frappuccino-y version, and with that I use I was gonna say frozen ice. I use ice cubes for it. So, and then with that it's fine, but 9 times out of 10 I use frozen fruit. So I buy bags of fruit like this at Costco. I always check on the label to make sure that it is just the fruit, that there's nothing extra added to there. So I like this mixed berry blend. I also buy strawberries. I buy pineapple. I buy strawberries, pineapple. I buy blueberries. I think that's it that I get for the fruit. So I buy those bags. I don't ever use the fresh fruit and then freeze it. But if I ever make a fruit salad or anything like that for a party and there's extra fruit in there, before the fruit goes bad, I portion it out and I freeze it. So you're probably wondering, portioning it out. Yes, I pre-portion everything. So here's a couple examples. I need to do some more portioning out. These are my strawberries. That's that mixed berry blend. This is one for my husband because I am not a peach fan. But these have peaches and strawberries and pineapple in there. This is one, I don't use it very often just because I don't like the recipe for it myself. But these are bananas. So here's the other cool thing is that if you buy bananas and they're about to go bad, right before they go bad, you just portion it out. I like to slice it up so it makes it easier to blend up in the blender, but I do that and I portion it out. So I take the big bag of fruit and I make it to one fruit portion. I do it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm a little OCD, as you could probably see by these bags, where I line everything up and make it all pretty and everything. One fruit portion is 1 cup. So I don't usually actually use the portion control containers to measure out. I just take the cup, I scoop it out, and I dump it in the Ziploc bag. There you go. Then I take these, throw them in my freezer. It doesn't take very long to prep, but it makes it that much easier when you are in a rush, you need to hurry up. For me, I gotta go pick up the kids, but I'm hungry, so I grab this, I make my shake, I eat it on the go. Or they're headed to their gym class, and I gotta hurry up. It's always, I gotta hurry up. So for me, I just grab it, open it up, dump the fruit in here first. Then I add my powders. So I actually add at least 2 different powders. I've been adding a third one just because I've been adding it to my regimen. But this is one that I add all the time. It's one of our boosts. It's called Digestive Health. It has flaxseed powder, pea fiber, psyllium husk powder, chicory root fiber, and chia seed powder. Why do I add this? Because I have a very sensitive gut, I've come to find out, and adding this into my diet makes it so things flow better. Your Shakeology is definitely going to help with your gut health. I need extra help with it. I've noticed that once I started adding this, that I was having less bloating and inflammation in my body. One other one that I add, which is new, and this is actually not through Beachbody, is I use L-glutamine. Now, this is just one brand that I grabbed from Whole Foods. I've got a different brand coming in the mail through Amazon. I believe they're all kind of basically the same thing. The reason why I'm adding this, for one, Autumn Calabrese recommended it. She uses it herself. This is part of our ingredients that we have in our Recover Shake, but taking extra is going to, again, help with that gut health. I personally feel like I need to take a food allergy test so I can see really what foods I'm sensitive to, because as I've gone through the process, I've learned that my body reacts differently to different foods, such as dairy and wheat. And as I cut them out, I notice that I have, again, less bloating, less inflammation. Adding this to my diet has also reduced inflammation. I'm noticing my tummy is flatter. Sorry guys, I just went through, I'm having my period, and it made it so my bloating wasn't as great as it was, or as it had been. So I add the fruit, I add my powders, and then I add my Shakeology on top of that. So as you can see, I've got a few different flavors. I use the vegan line myself. Again, it just depends on your body and if you're more sensitive to whey or not, or if you follow a vegan or vegetarian diet, then you'll want to do that. I usually stick with the vanilla with the fruit, but I'll also add the tropical strawberry if I'm feeling tropically, or I'll add the chocolate. Now for me, 100% chocolate is a little strong for me, so I like to do a half chocolate, half vanilla scoop. That's always really nice, but it's really going to be up to you. You're going to figure it out as you go and what you like to taste. Now, here's what I do with my coffee. If you guys are like me, I always have leftover coffee, and I don't like to have it go to waste. So I will either use it then, or I'll just drink it in the morning and reheat it. But if I'm using it for my shake, I add ice, probably about to here. I add my powders. Note, I won't do tropical strawberry with the coffee because that just sounds really gross. So I'll either do the chocolate or the vanilla, or a combination of the both. I do a majority amount of coffee for the liquid. And then just to top it off, just to make it a little bit more creamy, I'll add some unsweetened vanilla almond milk. This is just the brand that I like to use. And then this too, I forgot to add. I add this on top of the fruit mixtures that I do. So where can I put this? Another good liquid to put on is coconut milk. That is really good. Now I'm not talking about like the condensed coconut milk, the thick one that you use with like Thai cooking, but I'm talking about like coconut milk where it looks more like a really skim milk. I do not ever add just regular milk. I know if you guys saw the post that I did the other day, I did add it to, I made a milkshake, so I had ice cream, and I did some milk, and I put half a scoop for my son. And that's just because they have tried Shakeology before, and I think it's a mental block for them that they are like very resistant against anything that's healthy and against trying anything new. And so this was a way for me to get my son to at least try it. He drank half of it, he liked it, he got the other halfway through and was done with it. But for me, that was a huge win. What else? For my coffee, I like to add a few drops of peppermint. You can't see that very well. Peppermint extract. I got this again from Whole Foods. I always just check the label just to make sure there's nothing like weird added in or anything like that. So like if you're doing, say, a peanut butter chocolate banana one, check the peanut butter that you're doing. Don't add Skippy, okay? As much as we like Skippy, as awesome as it tastes, Skippy is not good for you, okay? There's going to be enough flavor there that you're going to get from that chocolate flavor. It's going to add that sweetness to it that you're not going to need a processed peanut butter. So grab a peanut butter that is natural, that hopefully doesn't have any extra ingredients added. I even was looking at the organic peanut butter that I picked up at Costco, and it has salt added to it. So I didn't check the label before I bought it. So I am going to just finish eating what we have and then not get that again, because I don't need to have that extra salt in my diet. So if you're going to get peanut butter, go to Whole Foods and get like the natural, just peanuts peanut butter. Also, I forget there's a peanut butter powder too. I forget what it's called. PB2, I think. That's a good powder to add to that. So, what else? There's two other boosts that we have that are great to add. One is focused energy, and that's if you're just needing that extra little kick. The other one is power greens, And that's really great to add if you have trouble getting your greens in. For me, I like to eat my greens. I like to have more food. It's not a struggle that I have, so I don't opt for the power greens. But if that's a struggle for you, grab one. You add, I think 1 scoop is half a green. And so that's just going to make it easier for you to get all of your containers in for that. What else? Major tip when you have your Shakeology, make sure you rinse out your cup as soon as possible. It will stick to the inside of your cup, so it just makes it that much harder for cleanup. So as soon as I'm done, if I'm home, I rinse it right away. If I'm on the go, as soon as I get back home, I rinse it out. Anything else? I'm trying to think. It's really what you make of it. You can add anything to it. It's super simple. Try things out. If you don't like it, try it again. Try something else. Our Beachbody blog through Beachbody On Demand has amazing, great recipes, different things that you can add, different ideas. They also have some great ideas on how to cook with it. Now, you don't really want to do like normal cooking because heating it up is going to reduce the, I can't think of the word. It's going to reduce it and make it so it's not as good for you. God, I'm going to think of the word when I'm done. But, so yeah, so a lot of the recipes are like no bake cookies or, no bake, like the balls, the protein balls that you can eat, different stuff like that. I've tried those out. I just like to have my shake. It's like an ice cream thing for me. Lately, I've been having it at night when I'm in bed. And it just cures that sweet, especially when you're having your period. That's when this chocolate goes real quick. So, if you have questions, let me know. If you've got some amazing recipe ideas, let me know. Let's share them. I want to know how you like to make your shake. So, I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.